I'm going to interpret Darcy's, the presentation that Darcy did in class, the second story. So my aunt and uncle own this farm. It's on the outskirts. It's a little west of the highway. I know it's a little ways of town. It's really nothing surrounding it but farm type land. And they have a lot of children. It's like a lot of children. I have a lot of cousins. And their farm was pretty big. You know, I think they had like a barn, they had a few animals, chickens, cows. So I'd always go and play with my cousins. We played soccer, baseball, so many different kind of games because we just had all this land that we could play on. So every summer I went to visit them and we would play, like, felt like all summer. So because my aunt and uncle's land was so big, me and my cousins and I would play, and the neighbor kids would come over and we'd all play. And, you know, we'd play and argue and just really do what kids do in the summer. You know, we were just on break having fun. One of our favorite games was hide and seek. You know what hide and seek is, right? Like, the rules, they're pretty simple. One person goes and counts to, I don't know, 10 or some high number, and everybody else goes and hides in different places. So we had one rule. The seeker had to stand in the middle of this giant tree and they would stand at the tree and they would count. Once they were done counting, they'd go find other people that were hiding, and if the seeker touched you, then you had to freeze until everybody was caught. It's kind of like a mixture between freeze tag and hide and seek. So the farm was like pretty big. There's a barn house. And then next to the barn house was the real house where my aunt and uncle and cousins lived. And there was a few other barns on the property, and pens and little gates of grass and all that kind of stuff. Well, behind one of the barns was like a milking house where there was a conveyor belt, and that's where all the cows are milked and everything. It was, and that barn was like right next to the cows. Well, behind that milking barn, there was like a fence. And then after the fence, there were some other things that were my aunt and uncle's land, but I don't really know what they were. But every summer, my uncle would warn us that we could play all over the farm, but we could not go past that area that was behind the milking house. And we were kids, you know, so it was a pretty big land. And we're like, yeah, that's fine, we don't have to go right there. We have all this other space. But, you know, as young kids do, we didn't really want to follow the rules. So one of the times we were playing hide and seek, and my cousin and I decided to hide together. So we were trying to find a good hiding space, and we thought, oh, let's go hide behind the barn, behind that milking house. There's a hill, we can hide in the hill or something, or right under the barn. So the two of us go, and we peek behind the barn, and nobody is hidden there. No one else was hidden there, so we decide to go hide there. And then we think that it would be an even better hiding spot if we hopped that fence and went to that area that we weren't supposed to. No, mind you, I was the only deaf kid there. A few of my kids wouldn't sign, but I was the only deaf one. So we get there and we're waiting in this secret place that we're not supposed to be in. It was a great spot because nobody found us. But from where we were, we could see all the other kids running around, hiding and getting caught and all that stuff. So out of nowhere, my cousin starts tapping me on the shoulder and she's like, "Hey, Darcy, Darcy, Darcy." And I'm like, "What? No, stop. Shh, you're gonna give us away." So my cousin jumps over the fence and she's like, "Darcy, come on, come on." She's like motioning to me that I gotta come quick. She's like, "Darcy," she's pointing behind me and I'm like, "What are you doing? Come on, you gotta be quiet. We're gonna get caught." So all of a sudden, I feel this like this short breaths or short wind gusts on my neck, and I'm like, "What are you talking about? You gotta be quiet, or we're going to get found." She's like, "No, Darcy, come on, you gotta get over the fence. You gotta get over." And I turn around and look up, and this huge bull is standing behind me, breathing down my neck. I freaked out. I ran as fast as I can. I hopped that fence and I whipped my sister. I was like, "Why didn't you tell me that there was a bull behind me?" And she's like, "I was just so nervous. I couldn't even sign. I didn't know what to do, Sir Darcy. I didn't know what to do." So I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that happened. So the two of us ran as far away from that bull as we could. We never told my uncle. No, we kept that a secret. And a few years later, we decided to tell him, and he was like, "Are you serious? I told you guys not to go back there. That's what you get. You didn't follow the rules." But I am just, even now, telling that story, my heart jumps a little bit. That was a horrible experience, but, oh gosh, it scared me to death. And we never went back there. We were scarred for life.